really a regular everyday fight, because the criminal is so high that cannot just work. No, I just work and struggle every day. I mean, all of us. So that's the mode of being here.
Have you ever been in Belgrade? When I arrived in September, I realized how dynamic it is. Even at night I feel safe because the warm streets are still lively.
There is vibration to it, and the city is big enough, so there's a lot of things going on. It's literally 10% of what it used to be. It's like very toned down now, very like gentrified in the way that only works for owners of the place, only for rich people, for upper classes and everything, which at the end of the day I think suffocates culture.
We can see, and we really documented this continuous decrease of public space and space for independent culture. Of course, that's one of the symptoms of the huge change of the logic of clientelist urbanism that is now ruling. And this logic comes with erasure. I think that the logic that was emancipating and building Belgrade in 20th century socialist Yugoslavia needs to be erased or reappropriated or distorted. My steps, my streets, or my student demonstrations, my student alternative culture, it's all scraped out. That's how I feel.
On one of my first weekends, Katsiživa is opening. It is end of September and the bunker of block number 4 is crowded and warm. Some weeks later I'm meeting Žarko, one of the co-founders. He tells me a bit more about Živa and the neighborhood around.
New Belgrade, even though it's the biggest municipality in Belgrade in terms of the number of inhabitants, actually doesn't have almost no alternative independent culture. We actually want to do things that people from the neighborhood are going to appreciate as well. You know? Like we want to do these things for the kids from the neighborhood. That's the idea. To make it kind of their cultural center. For all of us, basically, all three of us, it should be also like a playground, you know? So like something that we can like play with, because the space itself, it's like very raw. It doesn't kind of dictate what you have to do inside. Different types of things are gonna look completely different in that space, you know? So it's like very nice kind of abstract playground where we can do whatever we want, basically, you know?
Živa, that's why I love it, has this part within exhibitions and it's a cultural center, but there is really a lot of space for really good art today, you know? It's not a point like to just take a drug and like waste yourself. It's like, yeah, you go there to like hear some experiments and things like that, you know? Because we really have a need for a culture, you know, even though no one is supporting it seriously. I really love this exhibition we made because it's like, it was funny, it was made in 9 days, and yeah, I was like really writing for a few years now, you know, on Instagram, and this was a nice selection of a selfies, you know.
On the other side of the Sava is Mariana working, the co-founder of Station Service for Contemporary Dance and a cultural activist at the independent cultural scene of Serbia.
Cheers! Let's do it! Get to it! Cheers! Let's do it! Get to it!
The independent cultural office is also here, and every year we do the analysis of the results of these public calls. It's always criminal, of course. It's like what I said, the huge amounts of money are laundered by these Congos. So they are actually going back to their political parties or very problematic projects which are conservative, nationalistic, financed by the public money, while contemporary arts are micro grants or none, and they just make sure that there are no any unexpected developments. So we do since several years, every year, huge reports on these findings, and we make a press conference, and then the media, non-controlled media, write about it. It's really like a big thing, which made us prove that this independent culture is an active part, not only of the cultural sphere, but really of the political and social sphere, and this is our way to contribute to the political struggle. We want to show that you can work professionally even when you are solidary with your colleagues. That your colleagues are not your competitors, but your colleagues with whom you have to share, whom you have to support, who will support you when you need it, and so on.
Solidarity among the artists and workers has also a long tradition in the Cultural Center of Decontamination in their 30 years of existence.
Some of our projects are organized as an umbrella projects for others who don't have capacity to apply for big European funds and projects. So we tend to involve like 300 or 400 people and organizations and individuals in our, let's say, biannual project. It's a very difficult time to help day to day. For example, someone needs a space or our help to organize solidarity action for some issue. We are one of the rare spaces where that can happen in 2 days. The tempo of political issues, social issues is increasing. It's faster. And it's a very strenuous and, I don't know, exhausting work, but we kind of create a space where people that would never meet can actually meet. And one of our mottos is space where people come to feel free, which never ceased to be the priority since the wartime when it was founded. Our chance was when this war regime was overthrown. Afterwards, the so-called times of transition, the first decade or 2000s, I think center was very much acknowledged, and it was nice to hear what center has to say. But after, when this nationalist regime was almost completely restored since 2012, here, of course, we are one of the enemies. Usually boring old stuff from the 1990s, the same construction of the enemy. Every year we have to rethink this center. You build it over and over again, and it's always for this new world that we are now entering every year. And that's why I think it's resilient and it's far-reaching.
We don't feel safe, but we feel capable to face it when it's needed, because we have this huge network and that people are ready to fight.